Welcome to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode number 285. I'm making a new number for it because that's how far we've gotten.
We ran out of
There's
numbers.
no other podcast in existence that has hit 285.
We can't be sure of that. I haven't listened to every podcast ever. Have you?
Well, now that you mention it, no, I have not. So I'll have to rephrase that. Allegedly, there is no other podcast that has hit the number 285.
Allegedly, among other
Allegedly.
We allege a lot. We allege many things.
Yes.
Very, very many things.
I allege that man's name is Pink.
I thought it was us car crowds.
Those are both strong allegations.
I allege that the one over there who's making anime references is named Addie. But evidently I am wrong. I've been fooled.
You have been bamboozled, sir.
I've been.
You're right for now, but there has been shoot talks of me changing my name.
Why?
I was supposed to ask for what reason?
No real reason. I just never liked my names, and my mom's like, "Hey, don't you want to change your name?" Out of the blue, and I'm just like, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boy, that's different for your family than it is for mine.
Oh yeah, like I only got names the things that I am. Basically due to pressure, there was another name picked out for me that my mom forgot, and that's how I got the name Attila.
I see.
And like, she doesn't like either of my names. I don't like either of my names, so it's like, if I come up with anything that I like better, maybe.
See, around here there has been talks of someone wanting their name changed, and then it leads to crying.
Oh no. That sounds unpleasant.
Not me though. I love Alex as a name. It's cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like Alexander the Great.
Exactly.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I think the name I was supposed to be given was Daniel. Yeah.
Well, see, I nearly said something stupid.
Yes, that is exactly why I want to fuck down Zaburo. You're right.
No,
What?
On that note,
I don't know what to say.
he's a sweet little raccoon boy. Stay away from him, you pervert.
I don't even want to fuck him. It's just funnier to say that.
Anyways, my God, you might have just given the most awkward moment in the history of this fucking podcast, Daddy.
Nah, there was episode 200, which was.
I don't remember it, and I don't want to remember it. So nonetheless, on literally any other note, Pink, what have you been doing? I mean, Noah, what's coming out on your channel?
What is coming out my channel? Well, there's going to be Gladius coming out over the week, I'm sure. There's going to be 3 or 4 episodes of Dead by Daylight with Mike coming out. Guest starring Mike, not in a starring role though.
Yeah, very much not in a starring role.
Yes. And there's going to be NXT 2K23 Universe Mode coming out as well. Because I finally got off my ass and did that. So I've got episodes logged into the bank now, so I can start putting those out on the regular now. Again, after like a 2-week absence. And that should be everything. I don't think I've got anything else planned to come out, but you never know. You know, never say never.
Yeah.
that should wrap things up on my channel.
All right then, Addy, got anything coming out on your channel?
I think on the main channel, the editing has been a problem. Mainly the fact that I don't want to do it. So I just load up Premiere. Because like here's the thing, if I do anything in Premiere, I have to dedicate the entire day to doing just that one thing in with Premiere. So I load up Premiere, and I look at the thing, and there's an hour of raw audio, and it's bad. And
Oh joy!
Yeah. And so my options are re-record the hour of raw audio, which will take an hour, and then edit it, or edit the shitty one that I already have, and then like this is editing. This is not just listening back to the audio and making that sound nice. No, I have to, if I don't go either of these routes, I then have to rewatch the video so that I can put in the necessary cutaways and cut-ins, so that whatever I'm saying actually makes sense.
Yes.
So like this might be like, I don't know, a 30-minute video that I'm gonna have to watch 8 hours of, and it just I haven't been in the mood to dedicate like 8+ hours of my life to making this video.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna come out eventually. Probably not this month anymore, because I'm leaving this next week.
Yeah.
But it will come out. I promised. It's gonna be the last upload on YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube dies after that.
Yeah. Like it's not even a thing of like they pack it up, whatever. No, it will just take so long to make that YouTube will be shutting down. I upload it like a couple of seconds before it goes down. But yeah, so that's it for the main channel. On the secondary channel, I have some glitches that will be coming out for the next 2 weeks on Fridays.
All right.
Which there actually has already come out one. There I managed to do a bit of boundary breaking in Sly Cooper.
All right.
Or actually Sly 2. And that came out on this past Monday. And it was great because I was trying to punch an enemy, and suddenly I was outside the building.
Amazing.
And I didn't catch.
Is that not where you're supposed to be?
I didn't catch that part of the video, sadly, because you can't do the retroactive or like video recording that you can do with actual PS4 games, because this is being streamed. So what I had to do is I had to open up OBS after I was already outside of the boundaries, and then just record myself trying to get back in. Which isn't as funny, but it's
Yeah.
something. So yeah, and then I have no clue what's coming out. I believe it's the time in Sakura, where I wanted to go and till the fields, but actually fell into everlasting despair.
Fair
That
enough.
sounds nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. So yeah, that's it for my channels.
All right then. On my channel, expect a little bit of Gladius, as I did get in some more time on my single player stuff. The multiplayer with Pink, I believe the last of those recordings went up this week, but there may be one more. I don't think so, but there might be. And there will, of course, be a lot more Street Fighter 6 because I am recording so much of it, and I've had to finally suck it up and start playing it off recording. I don't know why I developed this new obsession. I can only play it on recording, but I'm starting to play it off recording. But nonetheless, expect lots of recordings of it as well, because Street Fighter 6 is amazing. Anytime I am not playing Street Fighter 6, I am thinking, I wish I was playing Street Fighter 6 right now.
Yeah. I will probably get to that point once I actually enable the thing where I can look at the people I fight, so I can skip modern controls people.
Oh my god.
All for segregation. I guess. I don't fucking know.
That's messed up.
Scrub quotes. It's definitely a noticeable difference.
Yes, I like.
They do.
Yeah.
They do 20% less damage, but yeah, there is a very clearly noticeable difference when you get the Kens with the instant Shoryukens.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like for me, it's just I don't enjoy fighting modern controls people because like I don't enjoy fighting people who flowchart very hard, and modern controls is flowcharting very hard for you. So
yes, it's definitely very flowcharty. I literally just played against a jury who was flowcharting into either get in for cartwheel to try and break armor, get in and start combo, or do anti-air cartwheel.
yeah, and so like people can play that way. I just don't want to fight them because I don't enjoy fighting people flowcharting. Like this is I would do this if the game gave me a flowchart notification before I fought someone. I would also skip them.
Okay, I thought I was picking up on you guys' fighting game lingo, but what is flowcharting?
It's like,
flowcharting is a person who only really does three things. Okay, a flowchart is a character who is a player who is by all means playing by using a flowchart. You know what a flowchart is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the classic meme is Ken. Is my opponent jumping? Sure you can. Am I knocked down and the opponent is standing on top of me? Sure you can. Am I at long distance? Hadouken. Wait for him to get in? Sure you can. And that's it.
Ah.
And inevitably, people want different things from fighting games. Addy wants to do cool things, so that is the definition of lame to him, and as a result, it is not a playstyle he wants to play against.
I see.
I'm a little bit more dedicated to trying to get good, I suppose, and as a result, I don't really care about those folks. They don't. They're silly to fight against, and it feels really silly to lose to them. Let me tell you, as someone who just lost to that flowcharting jury.
Yeah, it happens.
But nonetheless, yeah, they. At the end of the day, I view them as a learning experience for my part because I'm trying to get good and learn mechanics. I'm not so much about doing the cool things. I'm in fact usually pretty lame and win by laming it out, generally speaking. If I was into doing the cool things, I'll be playing a character who does actual combos and not Zangief.
Yeah. Like as for my part, like it's really just the thing of like sometimes the auto combo system actually like makes them do cool shit and stuff like that. But even then, I'm like, okay, so now it's it's the Marvel meme where people are like, okay, let me get on my phone while I get comboed, because like when someone else when someone with classic controls does a big combo, which happened, I fought a really good classic controls can. They completely washed the board with me. We had 6 matches. They beat me 6 times. They were very fucking good. I enjoyed every second of it. Because the difference to me between combo and combo is, the amount of effort and execution that it takes. The classic control scan was actually hitting all of that shit that I didn't know was possible. It didn't seem possible. But he was still doing it. And he was doing it good. Meanwhile, I get hit by a similar combo with in a modern against the modern control skill, and I go, okay, so they were pressing square a lot of times there.
Okay, so it's a disrespect of it's an easier control scheme, and I know he didn't work as hard to do it as a classic playstyle would.
That and also the flowcharting. That's like it's both of those combined that really just makes me not want to fight modern controls people.
It's a no respect. There's a lack of respect.
Kinda, yeah.
I mean, I guess you're welcome to. Yeah, whatever. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, it's also just the thing of like, I don't think I've had a fun match against anyone playing on modern controls. I have definitely taken note of having good matches against people on classic.
Okay, now another quick question. What's the difference between modern and classic controls?
Modern is Smash Brothers controls.
And you have a problem with Smash Brothers controls?
Yes, I hate Smash
Yes,
Brothers.
he does. Vocally for years now.
You disgust me. I'm disgusted by you.
But I'm disgusted by you and Smash Brothers. But mainly Smash
That's
Brothers.
fair.
Mashed Potato Samurai
I feel
came
like
to
we're
my
getting close to salt territory. Let's go ahead and move on.
Mashed Potato Samurai came to my house and shut on my PS4.
What is Mashed Potato Samurai?
Sakurai.
Oh.
Nonetheless, how did we get here? Right. What's coming out on the channel, Addy?
Katamari. Then, a bonus video of CVS 2. And then, oh, let's see. Actually, is there that many videos coming out? No. No. Okay, good. I had to check the calendar. So yeah, CVS. Then Terraria,
All right.
and that's it.
Excellent. So, Pink, what have you done with your week?
I done with my week? I know there was something. There was something, but I'm blanking on it right now. Because there was a movie we watched. It wasn't anything new or anything. There was definitely a movie, though. Was it a good movie, though? Probably not if I can't remember it. I don't know. I played as Sweden in Civ 6. That was a lot of fun. I played
Alright.
the worst Sweden game ever. Because I didn't bother with any Theater Square districts until the early Renaissance era. Because I spent all my early mid-game, trying to steamroll over Norway. Which eventually happened. It was just rather slow because I didn't have the technological or any type of advantage going into it. We were both at a stalemate for a long time. And eventually I took it over, and it was all going good. So once I hit the later Renaissance era, that's when I started pumping out all the Theater Square districts and really getting up in the culture game. And yeah, it was good. Sweden is a very fun civilization that doesn't really have any of their bonuses kick in until the later game. And when it happens, it's very pleasing to the eye because they get all their what are they called? Art museums themed for free. You don't actually have to worry about theming them yourself.
Worry about managing the bullshit.
Yeah, they're just all automatically themed, and it's nice because theming is the worst. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I came really close to getting a culture victory, but I actually got the diplomatic victory instead at the end of the game because there was a World Congress that occurred in the modern era, I think it was. And the longer the game goes on, the more resolutions you have in the World Congress, so you can get like a maximum of like 5 diplomatic points at near the end of the game, which is more or less exactly what happened. I got like 6 diplomatic victory points in a very short amount of time with the World Congress and also a world emergency or whatever they're called. And then ironically enough, I built this Statue of Liberty in the old capital of Norway, which was funny.
In an occupied city.
So I built the Statue of Liberty there, and that kicked me over the point limit with 21 diplomatic victory points out of 20 required. So yeah, it was like I was 2 turns away from securing the culture victory, but I just happened to finish the Statue of Liberty in a shorter amount of time. So that's how that game went. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Had a lot of good neighbors. They were all very nice to me, except for Norway, who was unfortunate enough to share my continent, and I wasn't having any of it because he was taking all the good land. So had to topple him over, had to build the Statue of Liberty in my honor, not his, I swear. And then I won.
All right.
Haven't gotten Street Fighter 6 yet. That's still on my to-do list, though, because I've made up my mind. I'm definitely going to pick that up in the coming weeks. Just a matter of getting my stuff set up and whatnot. There was something else. I could swear there was something else I want to bring up on the podcast, but I don't remember it, and I'm gonna stop padding for time now because if I can't remember by now, it couldn't have been that important. So I will wrap my week up with that.
All right, Addy.
Well then, let's see. I spent the day exporting some of the videos that we had lined up for me to edit. Some of them. GM mode, still waiting to be edited.
Yeah, I understand why.
But yeah, that's still waiting to be done. Regardless, I still exported 12 videos. 2 of them are over an hour long. One of them is 2 hours long. So you know.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The just the exporting process, not the editing, just the exporting process took me a day. It was cool.
Goodness.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't just for one video, but for the 12 videos. I started exporting them. I want to say around 10 a.m. and then they finished exporting all of them by maybe 10 p.m. Maybe later.
Right.
So you know.
All right.
But yeah, so that's that. I've nearly finished Sly 2.
Ooh, I've very much been behind on Sly 2. Now, this is your second time playing Sly 2, right?
No, this is my first.
Oh, I thought you'd already beaten the whole trilogy.
No. I beat 1, and then I started Sly 2, and it didn't feel right, so I procrastinated.
It's very clearly a different game.
Yes, and you know, there's I enjoy it now. Like I needed to play through Psychonauts to enjoy Sly 2. Doesn't make sense, but it's what happened. Whatever. Went back to it. I've finished a lot of it. But there's still one big thing that I don't like, or that is raising a problem with me playing through the game, which is the certainly like the amount of like the pacing. Okay, I want to go into details immediately, but no, the main problem I have with Sly 2 is the pacing. It feels like we linger too much on nothing, and I also liked how the first game had a more varied enemies. Like Sly 2 has a more cohesive story, but Sly 1 had more variety.
Yeah, Sly 2, they definitely focused on having less enemies because they wanted to focus more on the whole trying to be more of an actual stealth game thing. Whereas Sly Cooper 1, it's like a thing you forget exists half the time that you can sneak around enemies.
Yeah. I didn't, but you know.
Yeah.
I mainly used the golden wrenches, I think they were, to damage boost and shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. Yeah. I also don't quite enjoy playing as Bentley or Murray just because they feel like, alright, so we took this part of Sly and you can use the other half.
I didn't feel that at all. I quite enjoy playing Murray and Bentley, but obviously I've not got near as far as you, so I don't know how much of their kits get annoying in the late game.
I mean, the whole shooting with Bentley seems very not accurate, so I just don't use it. And Murray is focused on combat, which is fine. I just don't enjoy combat in this game, so. So, you know, it's like, okay, so Bentley's gimmick is that he can shoot people from afar to sneak past them. Only the shooting isn't accurate, so I don't use it, which makes him just worse Sly. Murray, on the other hand, is focused on combat. I try to sneak around people so I don't have to go into combat because I don't enjoy it, which makes Murray a worse Sly. Like, it's just like, okay, so I have pretty much more or less the same movement, only I can't use the bars or anything like that. But I have to do the same things that I would as Sly. more or less.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am on the final chapter of Slide 2, and I started up the introductory mission, and then the introductory mission decided that it's gonna be an actual mission too, instead of just being the intro mission that other places have had. And then I quit because I didn't feel like it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Because the thing with that, like, okay, the actual thing that happened is I was playing that game and I went, I want to play Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to force myself to not play Street Fighter 6 to actually finish the game. I wanted to do that today, but didn't happen. But yeah, like what can I really say about it? The movement stuff that they introduced as a part of the story is fine. I liked how they, like, it's neat to see how, in a roundabout way, this might have inspired Assassin's Creed a bit.
You
but
can
it's-
definitely see that in parts, yes.
Yes. Which makes Ghost of Tsushima that much funnier. Because they inspired Assassin's Creed to then be inspired by Assassin's Creed to be Ghost of Tsushima, so.
Yeah.
But it does explain why they did everything Assassin's Creed did, but kind of better, with more polished.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then, can I really say anything
Daddy
else?
comes back home.
No, I
No,
found
I
out.
wasn't referring to you. I was referring to them.
Oh yeah. I still wish that they would remake Sly. Like, the first one, I mean, I don't know if I want them to completely remake it so all of them flow into each other, very easily or whatever. But I think they could just do another bundle like they did with the original trilogy and just remake it.
Yeah, I think it's largely just because they are so busy, you know?
I mean, they weren't really that busy between Infamous Second Son and Ghost of Tsushima, but now that Ghost of Tsushima sold well, yes. And then I figured they were busy, and then I figured they were busy with Ghost of Tsushima after Infamous Second Son. So
Yeah. Thank God they were.
yeah. But yeah, I guess that's it for Sly. Then I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 6. I finished World Tour.
All right.
If
How world was tour?
very world, very tour.
Oh,
There's
Whoa.
pink. Bad news. The tutorials never end. Good news. You don't have to do them.
the what never ends?
The tutorials never end, but you don't have to do them.
No. Okay, fair.
Like you will have, I guess, sort of mandatory tutorials while you're loading up for the mini games, explaining how to do the mini games. But that makes sense. Like, it's it's not a thing of, okay, so now we take away control and show you how to do this mini game. It's just, while you're loading, the loading screen tells you, hey asshole, press X.
Ah.
You hear that, asshole?
The X button? I don't know what that is.
I look down at my controller. I just see shapes.
I look down on my controller, I just see Mario's head.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That could have worked better with SpongeBob, because that actually was a SpongeBob head controller.
Yeah. No, I look down. I see a chainsaw.
Yeah. I don't remember. Was the like the bikini zombie lady just a statue, or was that an actual controller for the island?
I believe that was a statue.
That would have been funny though. Sever torso. But yeah. What can we say about Wordle without spoiling it? W, you wanna grind? right now.
Yes, I am aware of that, and I said on one of my World Tour recordings, I'm going to have to do a lot of grinding off screen to get these alternate costumes. Holy Jesus!
Not even for the alternate costumes. The final boss is level 58. I had to eat every single energy drink in the world. Eat it, not drink it. Eat it. I had to eat just the cans too.
Yeah.
To beat him, and I was level 54 or something like that. So
Oh my god!
yeah.
So that was perfect timing there. I happen to say, oh my god, in reaction to your statement, and also the fact that on screen, I'm in a Geef mirror match right now. We both bear grabbed at the same time.
Ah, nice. But yeah, like even one level of difference can mean that you're fighting a very uphill battle, and that raised some problems for me because sometimes I didn't like, it's a thing of like side missions I'll do it, but side missions don't actually give you experience in this game. No, it's only fighting. Which is the cause or the source of my problem, because after a while I just went, I don't want to fight refrigerators anymore.
Yeah.
Like the scariest enemies are the sub boss, the boss, refrigerator.
Oh, good lord.
In this order. The sub boss is actually, yes, refrigerator. You have to fight refrigerator multiple times.
Okay.
It is an actual fridge.
My god.
But yes, in that order, because the sub boss was to me genuinely harder than the final boss. The final boss was there. I think by the time I got to him, I was just too angry to die. And then,
there is a certain power there, yes.
And then the fridge. The fridge is a very easy gimmick fight, except for a part where the gimmick can only be exploded in a very brief moment, and if you miss that moment, you die. And the game also,
all right then.
Yeah. And the problem, like the whole, like, I don't want to fight home appliances anymore, really, because the
I don't want to fight home appliances anymore. There's something sorrowful about that.
Yeah. Because the Roombas are pushovers. They don't do much except when it's the except when it's violent Roomba. Violent Roomba can be a problem, but not too much when it's just violent Roomba. The problem is that you have the drones. The drones shoot you always, constantly. They also zip around constantly, and like 90% of the time they are invincible.
Yeah.
Pair violent Roomba with the drones and with the refrigerator.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I got stuck. I was in a fight, but I got stuck between two refrigerators, a violent Roomba and like two drones. I was getting juggled very hard.
The world of Street Fighter is amazing.
I think I had to, like, I think I ran out of health items and had to use up like 4 continues. If that tells you anything, just to like escape from the fridges.
Amazing.
Because like, technically there's a run away from this fight button, but I ain't no bitch. So yeah, like otherwise, World Tour was great. I liked it. I liked how there's even some lore in it, because like we meet character's mom.
Oh, well, I can probably guess which character's most associated with her mom.
Cammy.
Oh. I was solidly betting on old Jimmy there.
Who's Jimmy?
James Blanca.
Oh.
But yeah, like, okay, W, you said that you haven't seen Ryu's texts, but people say they're good. They are very good. I enjoyed them a lot. He was my favorite.
I hope his first text, he is just smashing keys on the phone because his thumb is too big.
No, sadly, Ken taught him how to text.
Oh, but he's still Ryu, so he's just
Yes.
like, how do I fight better using this phone?
Yes.
What is the heart of texting?
But that's even a thing. Like, he brings this up when you when you talk with him. When you have a good enough relationship, he's just like, "Do you think I own a phone?" And then you can answer yes or no, and he goes, "Oh, I went no." He goes, "Well, you would be right, but my friend actually forced me to have this on me, so he can call me."
Next time there's a fucking dictator bringing about the end of the world, I'm apparently needed on call.
Yeah. I also liked this isn't World Tour, this is arcade stuff. If you beat Ryu's arcade, his arcade ending references his new arcade ending. That was a neat touch.
What is that?
Him walking out.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah. Back to World Tour for a bit. Some of the level design left things to be desired in my opinion. And then some of the mission design too, but that's also just like that's a two-pronged problem where like it may not be a problem with you, but also consider my experience, because like I played on a PS4. Loading times are longer on PS4.
Yes, they are.
The missions where it's like, okay, so we're not gonna change the time of day for you. You need to like fast travel to the other side of the town, and then go into the house, and then skip to nighttime, and then fast travel over here, and then fast travel over there, and then fast travel back here, and then go back to the house, and then do the thing again. I saw 8 loading screens in that mission. 8.
Yeah, yeah, that one in particular was the one that made me go, oh, I can't have this game installed on hard drive. I have to have this installed on SSD.
Yeah. And I don't even have an SSD. See, so
right. Well, you're on PS4.
Yes.
So that wasn't a thing back then.
So imagine the amount of time I spent loading in World Tour. Because there are some missions later where it's just like, oh, just pop down to friends. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I guess for the next 4 minutes I'm listening to rap.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Which, like, you know, the loading team that they have for the World Tour, actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy listening to the same part of it like 80 times, but you know, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And like overall, I'm actually like, the music is growing on me a bit, but not too much. I still think that they're bad character teams, but overall, you know, it does have the cohesive structure for the game. But yeah, I think you might. Well, I don't know how much you enjoy free roaming games. But if the idea of you getting random people and actually getting to beat them up regardless of their level, which means that you can fight level 1 people as level 50 and they die from a sneeze. If that sounds good to you, you can do it in Street Fighter 6.
Nice.
All right.
Then,
excuse me.
Then I also played arcade mode. I played through with Jerry. I played through with Ryu and Ken. I played through with JP, and I think that's all of them that I have played through thus far.
All right.
Jiri has a story mode, I'm sure. I mean, her story in this game is Vice is dead. Shit, I'm not happy. And that's
well, she wanted to kill Bison, and she never got to.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. That's her story. Like both the beginning and the ending. I've already told you it's a big reference. Ryu's the final boss is Luke. Because you gotta teach the youngins.
Yeah, them youngins gotta learn.
They have to.
I mean, we never really got a big Ryu versus Alex fight, so I guess as like taking over the series reigns, I guess is supposed to be the idea. But of course, we know Luke's not going to be the protagonist of 7.
Yeah.
Just like Alex wasn't the protagonist of 4.
Then let's see. Ken has a more interesting one. Ken Should I do like do y'all see yourself playing through arcade modes?
I do, but I don't care if it's spoiled.
Think?
I am going to play through the arcade mode, and I don't care about the story whatsoever. So go ahead and spoil it.
All right. So Violent Ken.
Oh my god!
Not completely like guaranteed Violent Ken, but Ken's ending is I wanna fucking kill JP.
Understandable.
Yeah.
JP stole his NFTs.
Yes, he no not yeah. JP stole his monkeys.
My apes.
But yeah, like Ken's story beginning is shit sucks after I got declared a terrorist. I mean, I'm technically not declared a terrorist anymore because I actually cleared my name because it was fine. But you know, it really sucks that my wife left me as shit. And then his ending cutscene is literally the same as his beginning cutscene. Only JP is there, and JP is like, "Yo, Ken, why don't you go succumb to the Satsuno Hano?" And Ken goes, "Maybe I will." And that's his ending.
All right then.
And the JP, I wanted to learn more about JP. I didn't. I really didn't. I really wanted to know what his relation is to Bison or anything really. Aside from, hey, I do money laundering. I set up this tournament. and the story that I got out of JP is, hey, I do money laundering. I set up this tournament.
All right.
So
honestly, I would not be shocked if they're waiting for the DLCs to reveal more about his character.
Maybe. But yeah, Akuma got referenced in Ryu's story mode. Actually, well, his arcade. They call arcade story. I appreciate that. but yeah, Ryu's arcade mode. They reference Akuma. That was neat. They also reference Bison. Like Ryu is just like, you know. Actually, I forget. Despite me World Tour. But it's probably I remember it being on arcade mode cutscene where he was like, I follow a lot of people and I made a lot of friends and like picture of Blanca and Guile and Chun-Li. I also I also made a lot of enemies and it's Bison, Akuma, and do you want to guess who the third one is?
Dan.
Ryu. Ryu's greatest enemy, Ryu.
That's not even incorrect.
No, it's not. I hope that in the Akuma DLC once he's released, they add him to World Tour, and his World Tour story is going to Ryu's to break his arms to form a family.
Yeah. Have kids, idiot.
Yeah. The only problem is that would have already happened because it was post Third Strike. Oh, it would still be funny if Akuma references Ryu. I was like, yeah, I broke his arm once.
Yeah. I told him to go have kids, but instead he went up on a mountain with an old dude and learned how to be immortal or some shit.
Yeah.
Kids.
Akuma will be an interesting one to see how they develop his character, because a part of the like, how does Akuma text? Oh no, this didn't occur to me. But how does Akuma text?
He sends Hadokens through the phone, and you have to interpret them.
Yeah.
You just get blasted in the face with a fireball.
You said something that pisses Akuma off. He replies with the input to the Shagokusatsu. Like I want Akuma
unless he's in modern mode, in which case he just sends you a single button.
Yeah. Like I want Akuma to like do no actual texting. He only uses stickers. You have to interpret the stickers.
It's only the most violent. Gun, knife.
Oh, Kemi's icon. I think y'all will like. As a world tour aside.
I've seen a little bit of the Cammy and Jury text that people have been highlighting. But man, they have done wonders for Cammy's characterization in this game of her just being perpetually grumpy.
Yeah.
And the matchup screen, Cammy putting the most half-hearted smile up of like,
yeah, go ahead.
When you press right on the D-pad or whatever for Cammy to smile on the matchup screen, it feels like best season ever.
I will eventually get around to playing through with the other guys. I also had the idea. I will have to do a lot of grinding to get there, but I had the idea of since I assume we'll have Avatar fights because we can do those. Because we can do those.
Do we want to have those? Do we want to see what freaks you've made?
I mean, I've only made one. But because you can only make one. But
you can make 30. You can make 30 recipes though.
Well, but those are recipes. So imagine this: Shoto, SPD.
I don't have to imagine that. That was a character in 4. Remember?
Well, yeah, but who remembers Abel? He sucks.
Not him. He wasn't the problem, and you know it.
Who?
Seth.
Oh, right.
a Shoto with an SPD and a teleport.
See, I don't see Seth as a Shoto, even though Seth fits being a Shoto. I see Seth as just being. Seth is.
That's certainly a way to describe him. Holy Jesus. I mean, how many Seths in Shang Tsung, like... I guess he makes even Shang Tsung look reasonable, because Shang Tsung has to take the whole kit. No, I get to take what I want.
Yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing about World Tour that I think is important. If there's anything resembling or overlapping input, World Tour will not let you have the same input on moves. Which means,
and that applies to both classic and modern. Importantly,
yes. This is a problem because it means that say you really like Ken, you grind out Ken's moves. You can't actually play like Ken because you either have Tatsumaki or Dragon Slash, or no, it's not Tatsumaki. It's Shoryuken or Dragon Lash. You can't have both.
Yeah.
Which really sucks because one of them's a punch, one of them's a kick. I should be able to take both. It's probably because of modern controls, but still. And,
yeah.
I assume there's an actual real reason for why they made it like this, but it's still annoying.
Yeah.
What else can I really say? I found that ranked matches actually sometimes match me up with people who won't just immediately kill me. So I've been playing ranked matches because whenever I tried to going into Battlegrounds, where for one, my connection with my Street Fighter insists that my connection with Europe is bad. I am located in Europe, so I go into America, into the American battlegrounds because allegedly I have good connection with America, except that it's 2 bars, which makes sense. But
yeah,
and the matches are still fine for the most part, but for the most part, that's the problem. Because sometimes you just get like someone who might have just a bad ISP or be on Wi-Fi, or it may just be located a bit too far away for me to connect to them good.
Yeah.
And those matches are not fun. And also like once again, I want to say like I had 10 or 15 matches in Battlegrounds so far. Well, counting matches as in with different people.
Yeah.
And most of the time, if I go into Battlegrounds, I'm gonna get completely watched to the point where I won't even learn anything. And while sometimes it's fun to get watched, like with that Ken that I talked about, a lot of times it's just like, oh, okay, so I guess we're just doing this until you quit the cabinet.
It probably depends on the room, because aren't there like 5,000 rooms or something stupid like that?
Yeah.
Because I was going into room like 49778, and it was like I was having an all right time. Yeah, it's pretty balanced matchups, but I can see where room 1 is probably where the majority of people go, and that's where you'll find the fucking gods.
Yeah. So yeah, I've tried having casual matches with the match finder. They didn't happen. Like I figured casual matches would have a larger whatchamacallit, a larger amount of people playing it. Larger pool, there we go. No, they're roughly the same as the ranked matches, so might as well just have ranked matches, I guess.
Yeah, I've been going for ranged match. I've been going for ranked matches, at least partly because I like knowing where I am in the the pool of skills, but also like I like being matched up with people who are supposed to be about my level.
Yeah.
I'm currently on a 7-win streak with Geef, though, which I'm going to go ahead and wrap up now, just in case we want to do something after this podcast.
All right. Where are you? Because I figured I found out that there actually are levels to bronze and iron and shit like that. It's not just your bronze or iron or whatever. So how far did you get?
Here's the weird thing.
Yeah.
Manal, the placement matches from Manal put me at Iron 3 with Manal. I had literally no practice time with Manal. I was just testing to figure out how ranked placement worked.
Yeah.
After that, I went to get placed with Geef, and with Geef, it placed me at Iron 1.
I had a similar experience with Jury. It put me at Iron 8 or Iron 6 or something like that, like a ridiculously high. Looking back at it,
Iron 5, I think, is the highest.
Okay, then Iron 5, yeah. And then with Ryu, it put me at Rookie. Ryu.
Now, to be fair, they can throw you some real screwball placement matches.
Yeah.
Because there was a particularly brutal flowchart Blanca thrown at me as Geef, who was pretty well a master of spacing out a consistent pressure of either walk-in lightning, walk-in throw, air ball, dive ball. And that was the magic combination that made my Zangief brain stop working, and I could not figure out how to deal with any of it.
Yeah, I've had those experiences too. I mean, like today.
Of like, they're doing the most basic shit in the world. Why do I not know an answer?
Yeah. yeah, I know that. But yeah, like today, I got up to rank or to bronze 4 with Jury, and then I promptly went back down to bronze 2 or 3 because I just kept getting matched up against people who were very much better than me, or the one modern Ken who was a god at spacing, and like I wasn't even mad about that match.
Dude, what is with the Kins that are great at spacing? I have run into one notorious Brazilian uppercut Kin, but other than that, I have run into hard zoning Kins that are keeping me out with fireballs and then getting the perfect as Shoryukens when I jump in or walk in.
I mean, I figure those people are people who are like they are the people that Mike would describe as sweat lords, who actually know how to play the game but choose to play on modern controls because it's easier.
I don't know. It's difficult to say because you do 20% less damage on what okay. So the reason as a pro player to pick modern controls is instant SPDs, instant Hadokens.
Yeah.
But if you're that good, then the question arises of like, you probably already have the Hado motion down.
Yeah, SPD like SPD, I can see why that would be, but I guess like I assume if you're
thing about modern Geef.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about modern Geef. The only SPD he gets is the heavy SPD. which is a kicker because it is the light SPD that has the long range and is notorious as the button that Geef will catch you out of nowhere with. Heavy SPD is either the opponent is going way too hard and is in way too deep if Geef gets to connect this button, or the Geef has got you solidly fucking pressured and can walk in and do whatever he wants to you button.
Yeah.
But it is not the catch the limb SPD, which is the one you would want on modern, logically.
Yeah. Speaking of catching the limb, I've noticed that this game has very weird footsies.
Oh, yes, it does.
Because there have been multiple times when I have been grabbed out of a sweep, and every time I go, what? And
throw looping is very strong. Normal throw is very strong.
Yes.
And it has been pointed out, this is because the normals in this game are so fucking strong on their own. The throw kind of has to be great on its own, just because, like, holy shit, I am getting pressured so hard with just normal pressure in the corner. And considering how drive impact works, the corner is scarier than fucking ever in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Like, Jury in particular, I've been seeing a lot of Juries that are just poking me to death in the corner as Geef, and I keep going to try and SPD out of it, and EX SPD is the only tool that Geef has that seems to get him out of pressure now, unless they are in super deep and he can get a heavy.
Yeah.
So that is something to keep in mind against Geefs, is if he's run out of gauge, if he's run out of drive gauge, then he is very scared of being pressured.
Yeah.
Which you know from first-hand experience playing against me in 5 is the opposite of how Geef was from 5.
Yes.
Where Geef was very uncomfortable at any range except close. He really wanted you to get in.
Yeah.
Geef was in a very good place.
It's also weird the location differences, because like you're seeing a lot of juries. I have fought maybe 4 juries in ranked matches. Yeah. I'm seeing every second person I find is a Manon, and 75% of the time they're also using Manon controls, and I cry.
I am seeing an overwhelming amount of juries. I have seen quite a few Lilies. I have seen a good few Kins. Other than that, it is very rare for me to see somebody else. I just saw my first Marisa like a half hour ago.
Yeah.
Look, Cammies.
I've seen a lot of Cammies. I have seen a lot of Cammies.
Good.
I have fought one Marisa. I have fought 2 Cammies. No, 3 Cammies. One of them was flowcharting very hard, and I actually beat them, unlike the other 2. What?
Marisa is a character that requires a little bit of a rewiring of the brain, isn't she?
She's not my type.
Not to play as, but to play against.
Oh no. No, like once you remember that she has to charge the attacks and shit. Like I also got lucky that the Marisa that I played didn't really do the geese parries good. Because they were kind of just throwing the geese parries out for free, and that's how
she doesn't have geese parries.
Then what is that? The block stance.
That is Scootum. Scootum, if she presses nothing, then she just blocks, and if you hit her high, and only high, she'll then check you with her arms. If she goes with EX, then it is a full body, where if you hit her anywhere, it's not a geese parry, it's a Dudley parry.
Oh, okay.
Where you're still getting the hit in as gray life, but then she hits you back.
Yeah.
And if she EXs it, it's full body instead of upper body. But from there, she has 2 buttons she can press. No, 3. One of them, I don't remember what it does, but she can either press light kick, or she can press light out of it, and that will be a low, or she can press heavy, and it will be an overhead smash. So it is simultaneously a Dudley parry, but it is also a mix-up stance.
All right. So yeah, they were really trying to fish for that. But here's the problem. You know how I play.
Yeah.
Sweeps.
Sweeps, absolutely. Loads of sweeps. Though you have to be careful with this game now, because there are a load of moves in this game that are low invincible.
Yeah. And so yeah, like they had a really bad time against me because they were trying to go for Scootum, and me sweeps. And also that was this funny time when I vortexed them accidentally, because we just got stuck in the rhythm of I sweep them and then jump overhead, do heavy punch, which is actually a kick, because fuck you mainly, and it's
yeah.
And it's the heavy punch for Jury is a kick that if it hits, it knocks you down. So they would try to jab their way out, and I would just hit them with that, and then I would sweep because then they would try to anti-air, and then we just did that for I want to say like 5 reps before they died.
Yeah, pressure is really strong in this game. Then again, everything is kind of really strong in this game. Though I did hear something. I have not played against a JP once, by the way. Have you played against any JPs?
I have played against a godly JP. I wasn't. Once again, I wasn't even mad when they beat me because it was just such a work of art.
JP, I have not played against him, but I heard something crazy.
Yeah.
So you know that his regular fireball is a throw, right? It counts as a throw. So it can't be blocked. It's a throw.
Yeah.
So since it's a throw, that means you can dash through it.
Ah.
Which is valuable knowledge that I'm glad to have learned before I fought JP.
Yeah. The JP I fought was a mix-up beast. And
oh boy, from all the footage I have seen, JP is very much either I want to be on the opposite side of the screen from my opponent, or I want to be inside my opponent.
They did both. That's the thing.
Oh, good lord!
Yeah, they did both. When I tried to be away to get myself together, zoning, which makes sense. JP's a zoner. When I tried to get in, they immediately just teleported above me and then pushed my shit in. Like it was annihilation, and props to them.
Yeah, I can definitely see that kind of thing where it's like anytime he's the kind of character that you want breathing room, but if you get breathing room, then he's like, okay, I'll just do this then.
Yeah.
Like Jury, I remember the few matches I played with Jury, it was kind of similar. Of like, oh, you want breathing room? Okay, I'll just build Fuha over here. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I had a funny match against the JB today, where we both of us started every last round just building stacks.
Yeah. Like I from what I've seen, it is a tradition for Jamie mirror match. Both start by getting crunked.
Nice. It did lead to me being like funny in character because Jay was trying to drink. Fuha is faster because I can do light Fuha. It still raises the meter, but it takes a lot less time. So the first match they tried to drink, and I built my stacks, and then immediately dive kicked.
Yeah, naturally.
No respect.
And since you've got full Fuha, that means that the pressure loop has now begun.
No, because I don't do the pressure loop with the fireball.
You don't have. Well, I was thinking the other two. She gets out of Fuha, but yeah, that one too.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with the other two.
Seen some Jury.
Yeah.
I've seen some Juries put low fireball on wake up, and that seems scary.
Yeah, low fireball on wake up. It not only is scary, it's a tradition. But
yeah.
But also, whatchamacallit? Like, there's some things where I might need to revisit I might need to consult the other gods and revisit Street Fighter 4 because I remember crack shoot being an overhead. It's not anymore, either which way, and that fucks me up a lot.
I forgot she had crack shooting 4.
She's always had this records pretty much that you could do, but yeah. Like I might need to reinstall Street Fighter 4 just so I can check if crack shoot used to be on overhead or not, because it is not anymore. And every time I'm like, hey, I'm gonna catch them sleeping with an overhead. Wait.
Yeah, there's several characters who have that capability, but not Jury.
She does. Her forward middle punch is an overhead kick. Because fuck you.
Yeah. As a normal, she definitely does have an overhead normal, but she does not have an overhead special, which. Shout out to the little bit I put in with Manal. So she's a command grab character who eventually gets her grabs up to doing super level damage. And also she just has this Mortal Kombat shit of complete 50-50 special mix-ups.
Yes.
With an extremely long-range low.
Yeah. I mean, like
the DJ slide.
Yeah.
I didn't know she had the DJ slide.
Not only does she has all of that, but she also has very long limbs because just overall, which is a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, the modern matches that I've had range from like this will really sound like me just continue to shit on modern controls, but generally the difference seems to be modern controls. I have these three specials. You will know these 3 specials Also drive impact. Or one of the classic controls has been some of the best matches I've had in the game. Because it goes from trying to, from trying to do specials and shit to just footsies, and it's not like it's trying like it's trying to get the other guy to disrespect you so that you can do your specials finally and actually play the game. No, footsies.
Yeah.
You do footsies.
One of the things that you have to be prepared going in with Manal is that the crazy grab she gets is not nearly as fast as the SPD, so you cannot just use it in footsie situations like Geef can.
Ah.
And that's one thing I had to get used to playing her just for a little bit. She's got a lot less solid, like Geef has a lot more. What did I say the other day? Manal feels like she's got to make a lot more commitments, whereas Geef gets to make a lot more safe choices. Yeah. But obviously, you can tell by her metal mechanic and the fact that she can pull you in. She can go for big mix-ups that Geef can't. Manal gets bigger rewards for making risks than Geef. So even though Manon is listed as the easy grappler and Geef is listed as the difficult grappler, I find Geef a lot easier.
Yeah.
Just because if I fuck up, it's not the end of the world. You know?
Yeah. Speaking of, I really enjoyed this one match against the Manon, or the classic controls Manon. They kept doing the pull you in, push you out loops that Manon can do. Eventually, I just started throwing them out of it. They never learned.
Yeah.
Like they were a really good player. They beat me, I'm pretty sure, but they never learned.
Yeah, there are some techniques that people use. I will say I'm very guilty of it. That it doesn't work, and yet we continue to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, with Geef, it's like in particular, Geef having his anti-air super back, right?
Yeah.
He's Zangief is finally protectors of Russia's skies again. He's got what was it? What was the name of Potemkin's anti-air super?
Potemkin Buster.
Yeah, wasn't it Hyper Pop Buster or Super Pop Buster? Heavenly Pop Buster.
Heavenly.
There we go. Yeah, Geef has Heavenly Pop Buster, but it's a little bit better because he has an arc on the jump. Heavenly Pop Buster had a pretty good likelihood of missing, and we've seen it several times. It was very funny every time. Because there's a little arc on Geef's anti-air super, it has a lot less chance of missing. I have nailed it 9 out of 10 times. And it has consistently been, do not jump on Geef when he has meter. And people never learn.
I mean, I need to learn to actually keep track of people's meter, because it has gotten me killed multiple times.
Oh my god, I'm not sure it's ever been more important in a fighting game.
Like not even the gauge system. The gauge system I can keep track of. That's a lie. The gauge system I can ignore most of the time because my playstyle doesn't rely on it. So I can just do whatever the fuck I want, more or less whenever I want. It's fine. No, I need to keep track of people's super meters, because I keep getting hit by raw supers out of the blue because people have had three bars, and it kills me because the 3 bar supers do 50%.
Supers are good in this game.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to learn the supers of each character on that level if you want to worry about that. Because, like, Geef in particular is one character who has 3 very different supers for 3 very different situations, right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, all of Jerry's supers are kind of stinky. She has her old one back from 4, for her first one. Her second one is her super from 5, where she just puts on the feng shui engine, and it doesn't work for me because I don't use Fuhai enough for that to actually do anything for me. And then there's a desperation super on level 3, but that's also level 3.
Yeah. Her projectile spam super, I'll say, with the amount of juries I have been fighting, the projectile spam super is the one where every time I'm like, oh god damn it, I'm just gonna be sitting here blocking for the next hour waiting for this to end.
Yeah.
Conversely, when I jump to if she happens to go for it as an anti-air, which it is a solid anti-air super, but at the wrong angle and I jump over, it is hilarious every time, just getting to do whatever I want to Jury, because she's still going to sit there throwing fireballs the wrong way for an hour.
Yeah. Also this wasn't online, but I had a really funny moment while doing the Jury arcade mode where I fought Chun-Li, and it was I think like level 6 Chun-Li, and she did the third strike super, and I parried with Jury, who parries with her feet. it was the best visual because it was just Charlie kicking and Jury blocking it with her knees.
Well, it's like, I'm imagining the bit from The Matrix, right? Which we've used that gif before of Neo parrying all of Agent Smith's shit with one arm.
Yeah.
I'm imagining Jury and Chun-Li doing it, and Jury's parrying with one leg.
She is. She actually is. It's really great. I love it.
I feel like with Jury, like, they've never gone too hard on it, because Jury is clearly more so supposed to be the nemesis of, let's say, Bison, evil versus evil. But Jury does come sometimes feeling like, obviously not moveset-wise, but thematically and appearance-wise, does oftentimes feel like the evil Chun-Li.
Yes, I mean, she wears pants.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
My God.
But yeah, they might be setting that up. Because Jury's final boss is Chun-Li.
Oh, the battle of the leg.
Yeah. I mean, it needs to be a three-way rivalry then. Jury, Chun-Li, and Manon.
Oh, good lord. No, Jury versus Manon is not battle of the leg. That is battle of the feet.
True.
Good fucking lord.
I tried to do Jury's combo trials because I wanted to see if there's anything I'm missing, and I also wanted to check how to do her records that it did in this game, and then I learned that I will not do her records. but
I have an oddly specific question.
Yeah.
So, is there a button that in this game, is there a move with any of the characters in 6 that every single time you connect it, it's like the fucking little art book page of like the monkey inside his brain, the neurons firing, right? Good chemicals go off.
Perfect parry.
That's a pretty good one.
I have done 4 perfect parries thus far, playing online.
I've done no parries whatsoever.
I either don't remember that parries exist, or I just start perfect parrying every attack. There is no in between. It's one or the other.
Come to think of it, I should be parrying a lot more as Geef, because if there's any character that benefits from parries,
You are on pet, right?
I am. Yes.
Okay, here's the thing that made parries a lot easier for me. On pet, left trigger is parry, right bumper is DI.
See, I changed the way the buttons are mapped so that left bumper is now 3 punches and left trigger is now 3 kicks.
Ah.
That is really important for Geef because EX Lariat is 3 punches instead of 2.
See, like I know how to do the input consistently on pet, so I don't have that problem, but that's fair.
I also map taunt to the right stick, which is pretty awkward.
You can do that?
Yes.
Shit. I'm gonna need to map grab because there's a lot of times where I swear I've text Octo and I don't. And it might just be me pressing one button instead of 2.
That has been a problem for me. I have caught myself pressing 1 button instead of 2 several times. I've also noticed, I don't know if this is like just coming back a little bit rusty, since it's been a long time since I've really put a lot of time into just one fighting game. I am really bad, I am now noticing, about pressing the button. Like, okay, SPD is full circle, then punch. I have noticed I am really bad about accidentally pressing the punch a little bit too early when I'm just half circle back. And I just see Geef do the credit card swipe instead of the SPD, which is very annoying. Because the credit card sweep, don't get me wrong, the credit card still gets you out of bad situations as Geef, but it doesn't bring as much reward as the SPD does.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get this in real quick, because this is why I brought it up. Every time I get Siberian Blizzard, and I've got this shit down now where I am getting virtually instant. I am getting Tiger Need fucking Siberian Blizzards now. And every time I connect a Siberian Blizzard, especially if it's at round start, because so many people go for jump at round start, every time I feel like jumping up and just start beating my chest. Woo, woo, woo!
See, like I don't do a lot of high risk moves like that I did a Tiger Need short or Tatsumaki accidentally in a match.
Okay,
But
well, here's the thing about the high risk stuff like that. You would be shocked how few people actually punish a missed Siberian Blizzard.
yeah.
Every time they see Geef go up there and throw nothing, and they're like, what the fuck? The great thing is when I miss a Siberian Blizzard, fall down, and then SPD them because they did nothing.
Yeah. Just use the recovery as a buffer to put another 5 SPDs.
You see, I'm whiffing 5 moves to input Ultra Atomic Buster.
Yeah.
It is good day to be giant Russian man.
Think you might have to play online.
The online is a more satisfying experience in this game than any fighting game before, in large part because, and it's such a simple thing, it just leads you into the next match like shockingly quickly. It's like 10 seconds.
Oh,
Not for me, but yeah. Well, no. That depends. If you're fighting the same guy, then yes, definitely. Like.
Oh, that's instant.
Yeah. If I queue up for ranked match, it takes me, I wanna say, like half a minute to find another guy.
There is, like, it's been said before, the faster you can go from match to match in an online game, the less time you get to mauled about losses.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kicking in here, because I'll take some shitty losses, and I'll go like, oh, fuck, I should have been able to go, oh, next match, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this sucks. Siberian Blizzard! Oh!
Yeah, I've also experienced that, but at the same time, like I just been really soured by my experience yesterday of facing nothing but modern controls manons that played the exact same way for, I wanna say, 2 hours back to back.
Yeah.
And like regardless of if I win or lose, I don't enjoy that match. So, you know, at that point, why even play?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have another weird question. So you and I both, the overwhelming majority of either of our times playing against people in fighting games are against each other, right?
Yeah.
So have you noticed yourself having to like tell yourself, no, don't do the thing I would do against Alex here, because that works against Alex. It does not work against other people.
No, because I see the people as the arcade mode. Like I just compartmentalize the online people. This is why I'm not having a panic attack playing online.
It helps that,
yeah.
Like one big reason to switch from Battle Hub to Ranked. In Ranked, they can't send you hate mail after the match. Battle Hub, they can do that plenty.
Yeah. But yeah, so like one of the reasons that I don't that I'm not having anxiety problems playing. Well, for one, the game is new. That helps a lot. But
yeah.
But also, I was able to compartmentalize playing against other people as playing against the arcade mode, where like, who gives a fuck? They're bots. So that also helps.
That may be true for many of them.
Yeah, and like, you know, it's not really like, I don't really think that the enemies are bots, because I mean, once again, I'll give people credit for it too. None of them beat me, but so does JP. But,
yeah.
No, but really, no. What was I gonna say? Shit. I brought this up for a reason. Repeat your question, Namya, so I'll remember what I wanted to answer. Please.
Right. Have you noticed that, like, you're having to tell yourself, like, okay, I need to play differently. I can't just play the way I do against Alex.
Yeah. Okay, the answer is no, because due to the whole, like, trying to think of the enemies as just facing the arcade mode, I just noticed the same patterns that the arcade mode does, and I calculate them the same way. Like, this is the thing of, like, I don't fight the arcade mode the way I fight you. Well, kinda, I guess. 75 to 50% of my playstyle is different against the AI and against you. But with you, I know I have to get in and shit. And sometimes, like, I've noticed the opposite, where I sometimes have to play the way I play against you, because the other guy is turtling up and doing footsies.
Yeah.
But it's rare.
Yeah.
Whereas whereas usually I get to play the same way I play against you. The chances are the other guy is also just a monkey.
Yeah. So I'll say for me, I had a breakthrough of playing Geef and kind of being like taking 50-50s at Iron 2. I'm like, wait a second. Wait a second. Why am I sitting and playing footsies? I'm Geef. I need to get in there.
Yeah, you saw the rush down in the distance, and you started running towards it.
Like,
You'll get there.
It's like, I'm so used to playing against someone who will come to me. It's like, no, wait. I need to get in there. I need to do it.
Yeah. It's also
funny how these things happen.
Yeah, it's also great when I'm fighting someone who plays like me, because then they'll do this very elaborate mix up thing. I block every hit. Like they go for the high low, the low, the overhead. I block all of that, and I still don't capitalize to actually punish them for it. I just block everything because I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I don't actually know. But I don't actually know how to capitalize because I don't have experience in that part.
See that's always the magic of playing grapplers. Is that I don't need to know how to. I don't need to think about it. It's just SPD.
Yeah. Meanwhile, as jury, my options are okay. Sweep. Do I have time for sweep? No. Fuck. Okay. Cartwheel. Cartwheel takes too long. No. Then it's getting tacked. Guess I'll just stand there.
The weird thing about going into the combo trials in this mode, which apparently people want to watch that on YouTube. That's getting quite a bit more views than the other Street Fighter 6 videos I put out, the combo trials. Nonetheless, the thing I've noticed with the combo trials is, wow, there's a lot of combos in Strike 6 that start with light jab now.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, something did occur to me to mention, though. Pink, you said in the text side of the Discord, you were thinking that alongside Cammy, you were going to try Manal, right?
Right.
And I saw you say, I want to try that grappler. And I could feel on opposite sides of the world, me and Addy both having Darth Vader reactions, but in different ways. Because I'm over here going, yes, come to the dark side. We can rule together. And I can feel over there Addy going, no.
You forget that I play Waldstein.
That's true. He doesn't count. I don't like him, therefore he doesn't count as a grappler. He's some other something stinky. I don't like him. That game we switched sides completely, don't we? You play Mr. Grappler, and I'm like, oh man, Carmine.
Yeah. Didn't we play a Zangief mirror in 5 where I won?
Probably, yeah. Well, I'm not well adjusted to fighting grapplers. I'm well adjusted to being a grappler, but I'm not well adjusted to fighting the fuckers.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the times I'm like, excellent, the perfect time for an SPD. I am already getting SPD.
But yeah, like I don't hate any actual character archetype. I don't like a player archetype. That's my thing. And like any character can befall to a player like this. Don't be that player.
Ooh, all right.
But
well,
it is kind of funny though how what my stand is on the modern controls, because when you try to lay it out in very simple terms, it kind of fits for Akuma main, doesn't it? Don't take the power the easy way. You have to fight for the power, otherwise it's not true power or whatever the fuck.
Something like that. Nonetheless, I guess we're probably going to have a lot to talk about on next FGA, aren't we? Because we're probably
the next FGA is getting delayed, isn't it?
Oh my god, yes it is. Which is going to be brutal because it sounds like in the next couple of days we are probably coming up on a big release of Mortal Kombat 12 info.
Yeah, the Sonic Fox actually released a statement on Twitter about having played MK12. They said that it's it feels like a love letter to MK9, and that it feels like they that they're trying to make Marvel. So
what I specifically heard from Max and Kenny was big move sets, lot to do.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, was there a pivot during the development of this?
Maybe.
Was that why it took so long? Did they see the Street Fighter 6 stuff and go like,
I guess
more.
I guess we'll see. If, yeah.
I just had a stupid idea. Ed Boon sees the Street Fighter 6 trailer in his office. He pauses it near the end. He gets up. He walks into the main office way. And he throws all the shit off of people's desks. He's just going through and sweeping it all. He brings in a whiteboard. And he just writes in big black plain letters, more!
Yeah. I guess we'll see if MK12 brings Shujinko back. Then potentially.
Okay, I have a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Because Street Fighter 6, big move sets. Apparently, Mortal Kombat 12 is going to have some hefty ones. Tekken 8 is also coming out, and in the moveset variety category, no one will ever compete with Tekken 8.
Yeah.
Where you just open up the move list and start scrolling.
I mean, the Tekken, one of both the biggest like things for and against Tekken is that you can just go. I'm just gonna like do a button press, and then I'm gonna wait like 5 seconds, and then I'm gonna do another one, and that might be a different move than just doing the button press normally.
That's an awkward part. The other awkward part is it's like pick Kazuya. You have 115 different moves.
You use 4.
You are going to mostly use Electric Wind God Fist.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Instant launcher, really good.
Yeah, like, you know, Kazuya's moveset consists of Electric Wind God Fist, treats, 1,000 treats for the more experienced Kazuya players.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Tekken 8. I mean, like MK12 and Tekken 8 will have to wait until I have a next gen console still. But like Tekken, I might get Mortal Kombat. Literally, once they announce Urbeck.
Yeah.
Like, once they announce, yeah.
Mortal Kombat's one in particular. Wait a year.
Yeah.
Like every time.
And then Tekken, I might get it because there are some neat things that they've shown off that I like, but at the same time, it's Pink, you remember the bullshit in Song Number 6? Where
No.
Alright, cool.
I try to forget.
That's fair. But yeah, there's a mechanic in Song Number 6 where the game takes away control. You played Injustice, right?
Yep.
Do you remember the mechanic from Injustice where it would put you into a cutscene and you had to press a button to wager?
Yep.
Gambling.
Yes. So both Soul Calibur 6 and seemingly Tekken 8 have that. And I hate it.
Murata chooses the weirdest things to imitate.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even harder anymore.
I know, but it's funnier to act like it's one dude.
We can still call out. I forget the guy's name that replaced. Oh shit! It's was it do you know the guy's name? The guy who translates for Harada? Murray?
No, I don't.
Michael Murray, I think.
Oh, I've heard the name before, but it's not. I don't know who that is.
He was Harada's translator for a while. He's working at Bandai Namco, if memory serves. Because if memory serves, he took Harada's spot. Harada got a new position higher up, and then Michael Murray took Harada's spot.
That is odd.
So yeah, this Some of these changes, I guess, might be Murray's fault instead of Harada's.
His fart?
Yes. I mean, look. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the mechanic is so I can't call it shit just yet. But there is a part of
it. I'm getting some whiffs here.
Yeah.
Where's your crapper? I got a real turtle head poking out.
You know what?
By the way,
yeah.
Did you see that they not only invited out Max and Kenny and Sonic Fox to play Mortal Kombat 12, they also shipped out Harada to play it.
Yes.
That's just weird to me. Video game devs being like, hey, competing video game dev, you want to come play my game?
I mean,
then again, I guess fighting games are at the point now where they aren't really competing.
Yeah, and also like I don't know why it's never the other people. It's always Harada, because Harada got shipped out to America, I presume, or France, maybe, I don't know, to play for Honor while it was in development, and give pointers to them.
My understanding is, given that Harada seems to be caught hanging out with lots of cool people, is that Harada seems to just be a cool guy.
Yeah, maybe. And people hate him for it. But how dare he not like lose his job for putting in characters against his higher ups' wishes? How dare Harada personally put a price tag on whatchamacallit on frame data, which obviously wasn't the thing that the higher ups also decided.
Yeah. Can I just mention real quick, when the Negan trailer first came out a few years ago, my first obvious reaction was, Negan? From The Walking Dead? What the fuck? My second reaction is, yo, but when playable Harada, though.
Yeah. They teased playable Harada for an April Fool's, and I was really sad.
I mean, the first Injustice 1, they teased playable Conan O'Brien, and they never went through with that either. I think that's the real injustice.
Yeah. that's Injustice 3. You have to murder the devs.
Yeah.
For not including Conan O'Brien.
I mean, Mortal Kombat, by all means, of all the series, has probably come the closest to putting either Ed Boon or John Tobias or Dan Forden in the games as characters.
All right,
because they're all in the games in other ways already.
Yeah.
If you see a decapitated head in the background, there is a good chance it is Ed Boon.
You know, I'm imagining them doing this big reveal for Mortal Kombat. You get to play as a video game developer. It's John Romero.
Okay, I have a stupid idea.
Yeah?
Not playable. Instead, Mortal Kombat 12, in the background of the pit, you can see, instead of Blaze and Hornbuckle, it's Ed Boon and Harada fighting on the background pit.
Yeah. That would be great.
Nonetheless, holy shit, that was a lot of fighting game talk for this to not even be an FGA. Jesus.
Yeah.
What else did you do with your week, Eddie?
I believe that's it. Well, no, let's see. Did I do anything else? Because I feel like I've played something else too. Direct to Yomi. There we go.
I saw that was on PS Plus. I've heard partially about it. What is it?
Direct to Yomi is a cinematic hack and slash. That's 2.5. Well, no, it's 2D, but with some 3D movement. It's
okay.
The story is there. It's fine.
Just what I wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Like, you know, the game overall is serviceable. I wasn't very hyped for the game when soon it to be. It's a really, or it's a announcement trailer, because I was like, well,
he's trying, bless him.
Yeah. Like, I looked at it and went, well, I don't know how I feel about the whole beat 'em up thing with the cinematic thing that they're trying to do. And having played through the game, yeah, no, I don't know how I feel about the whole cinematic thing that they're trying to do with the beat 'em up. Because
I've beaten the game 4 times and I still don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah. Like, it's
you know, I said that, then it occurred to me I've beaten Dead Rising 2 probably 2 or 3 times. I don't know how I feel about Dead Rising 2.
Yeah. But yeah, like Trek to Yomi was a game where like I played it. It's very like it's a. I really need to find a good word and just start classifying games as this because like it is once again one of those games where like it's a very nothing game. And I don't feel bad about this. I don't feel good about this. It's something to do when I do while I'm listening to videos or whatever, like doing something else. But I wouldn't want to actually dedicate time to playing this properly.
Time waster.
I suppose, but it's for me. A time waster is a game where I can just start playing it and then just hours go by. Like a time waster is a Game Dev Tycoon or pretty much just tycoon games, really.
Yeah.
Tycoon games tend to be good time wasters at the same time very still good games. Like enjoyable experiences. Trek to Yomi makes me feel nothing. Trek to Yomi doesn't make me feel like I wasted my time. Doesn't make me feel like I really enjoyed it.
Simulator.
Yeah, sure. Trek to Yomi is a nihilism simulator. Sure.
Yes. Nietzsche approves. Nietzsche, whatever. Shut up.
And I enjoyed their usage of fixed camera angles. Very cinematic, but at the same time, the game kind of made me realize why Silent Hill 2 wasn't an action game.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Have you ever played Devil May Cry 1?
Yes, I have, and the problem wasn't as bad.
No, it wasn't, but there are a couple rooms in Devil May Cry 1 where the camera is your greatest enemy.
Yeah. And sometimes I look at what they're trying to do with the whole cinematic stuff and the angle of the camera and what's on screen and how it's obscured and shit, and I go, I can fucking play the game.
Yeah.
It's fine that you're trying to do this. Looks real nice. Don't get me wrong, guys. I cannot parry the enemy's attacks because I don't see them. Like not only the attacks, the enemy. Where is he?
Yeah.
But yeah,
there's a special variety of ninja that knows where the camera is at all times.
That's the thing. The enemies are not even ninjas ever. It's all Yari samurai. Well, no, not even Yari samurai. It's all Yari like bandits, like bandits with Yari get-ups, whatever. Fuck it. Or yokai, who function 80% the same. The enemy variety is like a lot of this, lot of other parts of this game. The enemy variety is they tried less than hearts.
Yeah.
And like I enjoyed basically every cinematic bit that they did with the game. Very nice, very enjoyable. I liked it. Actually playing the game, kind of boring. Wouldn't want to do it again.
Yeah.
The story, I guess, like the story isn't anything special. They have items that you can, or collectibles that you can pick up that give you more background lore and stuff like that. I stopped picking them up after a while because either they were just not placeholder text. I didn't find lore ipsum. It would have been very funny. I would have liked that, but no, it was like a very like basic, run of the mill world building stuff of like, oh, the people around here eat.
Do they?
Allegedly. Like it was that sort of stuff, or it was a retelling of the Izanagi folklore story from Japanese myth, which that's there. I didn't really care. I've heard of it. Or around the end, some of the stuff gave you insight into the main character's story, and that part of us is sort of interesting, but at the same time, it doesn't really do anything to it doesn't influence what happens in the story. It just explains why you never see the main character's parents.
Yeah.
So like, okay, kind of a waste of time, guys. Not gonna lie. But yeah, there was also a problem of them introducing a character or characters, and then nothing really happens with them and then you're supposed to feel sad. Because, like, you meet, in the prologue, you meet the character that's gonna be your character's wife. You talk with them, I wanna say 3 times before you just go fuck off and do the mission that you need to do. And then they show up at the end to have 1 line of dialogue. Cool. Okay, next time you see them, they're the village leader. And they send you away to do your mission that is the game. Okay, you see them for, I wanna say, 3 lines of dialogue. Cool. You go and do the mission. At the end, you come back, she's dead. Oh no.
Death. It's terrible.
Yeah, I really feel sad about losing this character that I had no connection with. And like, it's one of those things where, like, I know that these are tropes. I have also seen at least one thing that is either like samurai cinema or something parodying samurai cinema. I am aware of these tropes, but I don't care about I don't care about the tropes like that they use from overall fiction. But you need, like, I need to actually know who this character is before I feel sad that they died. There were also some symbolic stuff that either went like above my head or just didn't make sense. Actually, because there's a part, because the game is called Trek to Yomi. Yomi is the underworld.
Yeah.
And you go to Yomi after your character's wife died. So you meet your character's wife. Makes sense. After a point, you have to choose if you want to stay with your wife in Yomi and die, or if you want to go back and actually, like, save people. And your character throughout the entire game is going, I need to save people. I am going to save people. I will save people. And, at the end, like,
well, there's a mythology thing there about leaving your wife in the underworld there.
Yes, that too. But yeah, so you gotta give it a choice of staying with your wife in the underworld or going back up to help people. I chose to go back up to help people. Obviously, the thing that happens then is my character turns around and stabs his wife.
Well,
yes,
honestly, you might as well have.
That there is wider mythological stuff going on there.
I don't know. There wasn't a debating scene after that. Where Amaterasu and the others form. But yeah, that and then that's pretty much it. It was weird that the default voice work is Japanese. I didn't care because I play enough games that are. I mean, like, I have Sengoku Basara on my shelf. Need I say more? Japanese voices don't bother me. It's just, not a thing that I would expect out of an indie game.
Yeah.
And there are optional English voices, so that's a thing. I didn't check them out. I can't tell you about the voice acting quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trek to Yomi, I downloaded it because it was the only game out of this month's PS Plus lineup that I went, hey, that might actually be fun. I was proven. I don't know. I can't call the game bad because it's not bad. It's just mediocre enough that it's nothing. Like, I guess in a way, Trek to Yomi achieved Zen in becoming nothing.
Yeah.
Impressive.
So yeah. And that's it, I think. W.
Yes. Let's see. For my week, I put a lot of time into Gladius and Street Fighter 6, but I will not talk about them, as I have already talked about Gladius at length and Street Fighter 6 at length, and I'll be talking about Street Fighter 6 more on further podcasts. And we've already talked about it on this podcast, so it'd just be wasting everybody's time. Nonetheless, the other stuff I have done this week. Let's see. I had beaten Link to the Past, my first ever Zelda game beaten. And so I started Link's Awakening because it seemed like the natural progression. And Link's Awakening, obviously more primitive technically than Link to the Past. It was on the Game Boy instead of the SNES. The Game Boy was not as powerful as the SNES. Shock of shocks. Nonetheless, I enjoy Link's Awakening's gameplay more than Link to the Past's.
Nice.
And I enjoy it. I think it has a sense of charm and silliness to it that was missing in Link to the Past. Link to the Past takes itself very seriously. Whereas Link's Awakening, one of the first dialogue boxes you are going to get in the game is, Link, check the chest. Wow, that's a nice chest. There's mild changes to the gameplay that I quite like. That I cannot recall. Well, the big one is, off the top of my head, the shield is now an active item rather than a passive one, and is no longer just a passive thing of projectiles like arrows, whatever, don't hit you on the front. It is now an item that you can bust out and hold the shield in front of you and not only block projectiles, but also just push enemies around and be a bully.
Yeah, it's good.
And have you played Link's Awakening?
I'm playing through the playing through the remake right now. I've never played through the original.
Really? That's actually funny timing then.
Yep.
But as soon as you find that out with the shield and that you can push enemies into bottomless pits, that never stops being funny.
Link was the original Smash Brother.
The sword feels a bit better, and here's a really silly thing for me to say. I know. It's not the Master Sword, so it's better, because the Master Sword, if I have any less than max health, it feels bad because I don't get my sword laser.
Yeah.
But it's not the Master Sword, so I don't need to worry about whether I'm at full health or not.
Yeah.
The only complaint, and I've played through the first 2 dungeons, they've been really fun dungeon designs, and the items I got from them are really cool. Have you got through the first dungeon, Pink?
Yes, I've definitely gone through the first and second dungeons at this point.
So, first of all, the feather item that you get from that first dungeon, is that not the funniest shit in the world? Of like, here's a 2D top-down Zelda, here's a jump button. What?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
And it's super good. Like, it's very satisfying to just run straight at an enemy and jump, do a fucking flip over him and hit him in the ass.
Yep.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot. You know the cave that you hit before you go into the second dungeon where you fight the Bull Rush boss?
Yeah.
So I beat him not using the jump move, and it only just now occurred to me, hey, I was probably supposed to jump over him as he charged at me. No, I was like very carefully, very tightly trying to sidestep him. Hindsight 2020, would have been better to just jump over the motherfucker.
Probably.
Shout out to the fact that, like, this game just doesn't get, like, I've heard before that, like, the Chain Chomp shows up in Zelda. And there's a Chain Chomp or 2 in Link to the Past, but they're very rare.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening, they don't give a fuck.
They're like one of the very first things you encounter in that game.
And it's a friendly Chain Chomp, which, like, never happens. Now, naturally, Mario instincts kick in when you first see it and you try to get around it. But then the first time it goes for you and does no damage, it's like, wait, oh, I see. And one of the first enemy types you run into the game is explicitly just Shy Guy.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of neat, though.
Let me tell you, brother, I was so confused because I thought they lost the rights to the original enemies in the remake. Since I'm playing the remake, I was like, oh, that's weird. I guess they replaced all the previous Zelda enemies with Mario characters now? That's an odd thing. I wonder what happened there. No. Just casually a Chain Chomp, casually Shy Guys. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's just hanging out. He's on vacation. Like Bowser, it's canon that Bowser's actually a really good employer and gives loads of vacation days and all that.
Yeah.
This is what they go to Koholint Island on their vacation to get their ass kicked by Link instead of Mario.
Yeah.
Shout out to the stretch of the game where they decide, okay, we're gonna just join a chain chomp to your ass, and the chain chomp is playing the game for you for a while.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd. Nonetheless, I think that it has a lot of goofy charm that was missing from Link to the Past. Like Link to the Past, my overall experience with Link to the Past was, okay, this game was tremendously innovative, a tremendous jump from the previous Zeldas, one of the biggest steps in gaming history, specifically in the development of long-term single-player games that have an actual story and progression, and where the character gets distinctively better with every passing level. So for historicity's sake, Link to the Past, yeah, historical fucking game. However, it was not really my game. The pacing, the way the gameplay worked, I don't know, it just didn't grab me. It felt a bit like I was just forcing myself to get through it by the end.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening, I'm having a good time with it.
Very nice.
Let's see, I have been... You know what? I won't go into that one because that one's going to be a long talk. I'll save that one for a future one. Because there's also SmackDown last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they start with Paul and Solo in the ring. And Paul is about to start talking. But before he can even get a word, Jay interrupts. His music hits. He comes out there. And Jay says, Solo, you're my brother. But, like, dude. Jimmy is our brother. How do you just Samoan spike your own brother, you heartless fuck? You better have something to say for yourself. And before Solo can say anything, Paul steps in the middle and says, hey, this ain't Solo's fault. This ain't your fault. This ain't my fault. This ain't Roman's fault. It's Jimmy's fault.
This is Jimmy's fault. I like it.
Jimmy's neck was just magnetic to Solo's thumb. But nonetheless, Paul says, Jay, you don't realize Jimmy's manipulating you. You see, here's the thing. Everybody sees it, including Roman, including your tribal chief. Everyone sees you've always been the better Uso. I was kind of sitting there like, that's true, but nonetheless, whose idea was it to explicitly say on TV that Jimmy's the shittier Uso? Nonetheless, Paul says to Jay, and Roman knows this. Roman, you may not realize it, because I know you've got some issues with Roman. Roman's been grooming you. And I was sitting there like, Paul, where are we going? Roman's been grooming you to succeed him. When Roman retires, you're going to be the new chief.
I thought Paul was just going to have a face turn. Randomly.
I mean, Roman's entire gimmick for like a couple of years now has been gatekeep gaslight girl boss. So nonetheless, fucking gaskeep gate light. There we go.
Gaskeep gate boss. Girl keep whatever. Girl light.
Girl light. Gas girl gate light keep boss.
Yes.
Nonetheless. And Paul says, and you know what, Jay? Look, tonight, I've got you a match with Theory, a U.S. Championship match. You beat him, you take that belt to the back to the bloodline, and everything you've done will be forgotten, and it will be guaranteed you are the next head of the family. And Jay is like, ooh. You know, a little bit of the Gandalf looking at the ring like, I shouldn't.
Uh-huh.
And Jay says, okay, you know what? I'll take the match with Theory. As for rejoining the bloodline, Paul, I'll get back to you on that. And Jay peels out of the ring and Paul goes, almost had him, damn it. We get a series of qualifying matches for the Money in the Bank. 2 men's, 2 women's. One is Santos versus Muhammad Ali. God damn it.
Yes.
From the dead.
Mustafa Ali And it seemed like it was one of those matches where it was a race. Santos was trying to beat Mustafa before Mustafa could kill himself. I mentioned on the text channel of the Discord, at one point they're battling on top of the turnbuckle, and Mustafa, with no provocation, he's not been hit by Santos recently. Nonetheless, Mustafa just does a backflip from the fucking top of the turnbuckle to the ringside.
What?
He just does it. And then Santos is like, okay, goes for the good old Macho Man double axe handle from the top rope to the ringside, and Mustafa catches him with a drop kick.
Oh.
Which I guess kind of makes it look like Mustafa planned that, but why though, still? Match finishes with a thrill of the hunt from the top rope. A super thrill of the hunt, I guess. Cole calls it the Phantom Driver. I don't know. I get that it fits. The name is easier to remember and associate with Santos. I'm still going to call it the Thrill of the Hunt because that's a more unique name for a finish.
True.
Just throwing
I always
your
called
name
it the Mexican Driver.
Just throwing your name or your nickname and then Driver. That's been done before. Thrill of the Hunt. That's a new finish name. That's a new name.
Yeah.
Let's see the other men's qualifying match. By the way, LA Knight was at ringside for that one. He didn't do anything. He was just there to remind everyone he existed. Like, I think that was explicitly just to have LA Knight somewhere on the card. The other men's qualifying match was, oh goddamn, what was it? Right, Corbin versus
Well, it doesn't matter. Corbin is in the match, so it's got to be good, right?
Corbin versus somebody, and Mello and Trick were at ringside for some reason. Well, no, I know it's supposed to be because they're feuding with Corbin, but who cares?
Yeah.
Like, if there's any way to guarantee Mello gets no heat, no traction with the NXT Championship run, there's a good way to do that, and it's to make sure that his first non-rematch feud with the belt is Corbin. I did not pay attention to the match. Corbin, at some point, I think at the end, gets distracted by Trick and Mello. He gets rolled up by whoever his opponent was. I cannot remember for the life of me who his opponent was. And then afterwards, Corbin goes out and brawls with Trick and Mello. There you go. The two women's qualification matches. Shotzi versus Io Shirai. Bayley comes out, knocks Shotzi off the top turnbuckle. Shotzi was not prepared to take a bump from the top turnbuckle, so she sends herself flying off it like ass first. And as a result, she did not get as much air as she expected to, and she bangs the back of her head on the top turnbuckle.
Oh my goodness.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yo takes advantage, goes to the top rope, gets a moonsault. And then the other women's qualification match was Bayley versus Mia Yim, who is still on contract. Bayley wins. AJ Styles is at ringside for some reason just to be there. Scarlett appears out of nowhere, shows up, and mists AJ.
What?
Yeah. And then Cross appears from out of nowhere and starts choking AJ out. And then Mia Yim gets out of the ring and chases Scarlett and Cross off. And I was just thinking, like, man, I would have become the biggest fucking Mia Yim mark if she had packaged pile drive Cross there.
Me too.
Let's see. So that was all the qualification matches. In terms of storyline progression, they cut to backstage at one point, and Jay runs into Sammy. And Sammy says to Jay, hey, you and me, we beefed during the Bloodline. But that doesn't change that my time in the Bloodline was one of the best times of my life. I'm sure it's the same for you. I was kind of thinking like, well, Sammy, I'm not sure that's true. You definitely enjoyed your time in the Bloodline. And he says to him, Jay, you know that there is one problem with the bloodline. There has always been one problem with the bloodline. If Roman was not there, we would still be working together as a team. We would still be dominating the show. But Roman is a paranoid, manipulative narcissist, and the bloodline can never work as long as he is at the core of it. I don't know what choice you're going to make tonight, man. If you're going to go independent, if you're going to go back to the bloodline, I know that you'll be a success. If you want to sell out your own brother, that is your choice. And Sammy leaves Jay with that. And Sammy's so good at, like, Roman and Sammy. Like, everyone else in this storyline could just be a couple of 2x4s left standing up, and Roman and Sammy could make this storyline work anyways.
Absolutely.
We get a segment where Asuka is gifted the new WWE Women's Heavyweight Championship, or not heavyweight, excuse me, the new WWE Women's Championship, which is like, okay, I understand that because the Raw Championship got moved to SmackDown, we need to do some shifting of the belts here. But do we now have the WWE Women's Championship and the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship as the two belts, and the SmackDown Women's Championship is on Raw? What is happening?
I'm confused.
They hand Asuka her new belt, Raw removed. It is now just back to being the Women's Championship a la pre-Butterfly Divas belt, right?
Right.
And it is identical to Roman's belt.
What a shock.
After much hoopla. Bianca had prior got Adam Pearce to promise her a rematch, naturally. But nonetheless, when Asuka gets the belt, Charlotte appears. She comes to the ring. And I am thinking already, okay, so the belt is identical to the previous belt. Asuka is not an exciting champion. This is already a sad segment. Charlotte appearing tells me that Charlotte is now the person that WWE has sitting in a fucking cryogenic vat, and they just bust her out anytime they're not happy with what's going on in the women's division, and she's their reset button, right?
Yeah.
Charlotte has become the oops, we fucked up button of get her out of the, like, Austin Powers cut to Charlotte making some goofy pose in the cryogenic tube. Get her out there, put some bitch in the figure eight, and then like 2 weeks later, the next person they want to have the belt beats Charlotte, right?
Right.
So Charlotte goes out there, and what I say to my family is, please God, Charlotte, don't go in there and just talk about how you respect Asuka, but you want her belt. Charlotte gets in there, picks up the mic.
And start speaking in perfect Japanese.
Yes. No. Charlotte points at Asuka. Asuka, I respect you. You know I respect you. But I want that belt. And I just go, oh, God damn
it! The one thing I didn't want you to say, and you say exactly that. In verbatim. Unbelievable.
Asuka then shouts something in Japanese at Charlotte. Mists. Charlotte ducks the mist, peels out of the ring, and runs off. And Adam Pearce is like, okay, I guess Charlotte gets a match because she's Charlotte. I don't fucking know. They're not paying me enough. And Adam Pearce goes backstage, and Bianca Belair is just standing there. And Prewell goes, Adam, what the fuck was that? And Adam pretty well goes, I don't know. This shit has gotten out of control.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Like, he's still well above Jack Tunney levels of completely ignorant face authority figure. But that was a hilarious display of Adam Pearce just completely failing to get anything under control. I'm just thinking, hard cut to a couple months ago where they explicitly had Gunther go out and cut a promo on Adam Pearce of, you have no control of this. This show is just running wild and you are doing nothing to stop it. And it's like, yeah, Gunther's a heel, but he wasn't wrong.
Nope.
Nonetheless, wow, that was like the worst fucking, like, that was every issue I have had with women's booking in WWE for the last year in a single segment. of, okay, we've put the belt on a woman who doesn't really do anything. She's just been around for a while, so here's the belt, I guess. And, okay, surprise, Charlotte's back. She's had 6 surprise returns in as many months, or, well, excuse me, that's too exaggerated. She's had 6 surprise returns in the last year, but nonetheless, here's Charlotte.
Yeah.
And Charlotte, the feud is, I respect you, but I want the belt. No heat. Just, I respect you, but I want the belt. The dudes are allowed to get heat on each other. The chicks aren't. Why?
It's illegal.
And I know why. I know what the answer is. I know the answer is that women hating each other, men writing women to hate each other is misogynist. That women should stand together. That doesn't change that it's pro wrestling. And
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Addie, go ahead.
Also, I was just supposed to pretend that women don't have personalities anymore.
Yes. All women are strong. None of them are allowed to be asshole villain women that the hero women beat up anymore.
Like you know, just even just looking at fighting games. I am playing as Juri, explicitly an asshole. And you know what? She's fun. I wouldn't want her to be another way. Yeah.
It took Street Fighter 18 years to bring in a villain woman, though.
Yeah, true.
Which is particularly funny because, like, Jury, like, 18 years of no villain women. They bring in one. Oh my god, smash success.
Yeah.
Nonetheless. So, just, terrible. Ew, stinky. Blech, blech, blech. Okay. We got cut to backstage segment. Jay is gay. Paul runs into Jay backstage.
He is gay. That's the segment. All right, cool.
The reason Jay has so much aggro towards Sammy is because of the unrequited love. Nonetheless, they cut to backstage. Jay and Paul tells Jay again, hey man, look. You're pretty great. You, the bloodline, Roman takes you under your wing. Come on, man, he can show you. And Jay sits there for a little, and then Jay goes, you know what? That would be pretty great to become the leader of the bloodline, Paul. It would, because then I would finally get to fire your ass. And
man.
Jay walks off screen, and Paul gets a look on his face like, I have made a mistake. I have fucked up. We get an in-ring promo segment. The Celtic Witches appear. They come in and they're like, we're really pale and we have funny accents. And then Ronda and Shayna appear. And Shayna goes, you know the NXT women tag belts were made for me, right?
What?
Yeah, I don't know my NXT history, so I assumed she was correct, but I'd never heard of that.
Absolutely not.
And Shayna says, so those belts should be mine just because they were made for me. Which is a funny thing to think about also. But nonetheless, Lord knows Pat Patterson never dropped the Intercontinental belt.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he dropped plenty of belts around little boys, but nonetheless.
Oh my.
There you go. That might be the most horrible joke I've ever made. Nonetheless, and Ronda goes, "Yeah, we're gonna beat you for your belts." And the Celtic Witches go, "Nah, bitch." And Shayna and Ronda Pearl Harbor the Celtic Witches, and the Celtic Witches get the better of them and send them packing.
Because Ronda just wants to put everyone over, you know?
I am so confused. Well, I assume the gimmick here is that they'll try to make the Celtic Witches look like they can put up at least somewhat of a fight before Ronda kills them both single-handedly and
Precisely.
the apron.
Precisely.
And this is a more dignified way to get rid of the NXT women's tag belts than throwing them in the trash. and then having Alundra Blaze fish them out of the trash. But boy, this match more than anything else speaks to wow, the NXT women's division is bad.
Yep.
And it speaks to why did we call up any of the people we called up from NXT?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no space on the main roster for them. And
Nope.
NXT needs virtually all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, on the NXT women's roster, we have 2 women veterans with long histories of working on the indies that are good at showing these youngins the ring ropes.
We
Now,
do?
we've already complained that both of them are busy in a feud with each other.
Oh, that's right.
Because Gigi and JC, both are great, especially for NXT. But they're stuck feuding with each other and not anyone else.
Yep. I didn't
Meiko
know JC had a
Satomura-
long stint on the indies.
I believe you're correct. Yeah, but she works like she had a long stint on the indies. Nonetheless, Meiko seems to fade out of existence for 6 out of the 12 months of the year. So, if even that, 10 out of the 12 months of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're not using her, even though she could show these youngins the ropes if she doesn't kill them. Boy, the other day I saw a match from 20 years ago. Aja Kong versus Meiko Satomura. And I was watching that match thinking, oh boy. You know, I kind of wonder if they keep Meiko on the sidelines for most of the year just because they're afraid she's going to kill the other women. Because holy shit. There are few stiffer wrestlers in history than Aja Kong. Sweet Jesus. Like, the woman would just punch the shit out of people, drop them on their heads 4 or 5 times, then go, okay, get your comeback in. What? Have you guys ever seen the match from back in the new generation? When they had, it was like 93 or 94, they had Aja Kong versus QT Suzuki. Because that was around the time where they were just stealing the All Japan women's roster.
Yep.
And Vince and Macho Man, or not Macho Man, who was it? Who would have been on commentary after Macho Man?
It might have been Mr. Perfect. Perfect or DiBiase?
I don't think it was Perfect. It was someone kind of slimy.
Only kind of slimy.
Like some kind of corporate toady type, almost like Todd Pettengill.
I don't... 1994 this was.
Because Mach would have been out by then, right?
I don't remember. I feel like he left in 96.
It might have been Mach then. But nonetheless, like, Vince tries to do what Vince always wants to do during women's matches, which is hype up the main event and ignore the match that's going on in the ring, right?
Right.
So Vince, throughout the entire match, is trying to talk about, well, Shawn Michaels has been, he's been saying bad things about Martha Hart. Or not Martha Hart, Diana Hart. All that's no good conniving Shawn Michaels. And then he's got a heel commentator with him, and I don't think Mach was a heel commentator who's saying like, "Well, I've heard a lot of bad things about Diana. I've heard she's a whore," you know, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Well, they keep getting interrupted in their attempts to put over Shawn by Aja just killing this poor little girl, QT Suzuki. And you can hear Vince about to say like, "Jesus, they're stiff fuckers, ain't they?" But he stops himself, right?
Right.
And it's just kind of consistent, like, Shawn Michaels, yeah, Shawn Michaels. And there is a little tone in Vince's voice near the end of like, holy shit, I need to fire these girls. Nonetheless, I mean, like, why did they bring up Albert Fryer?
It's a great question.
Is Albert Fryer going to be a success on the main roster? No, probably not. But does Albert Fryer have enough experience to help these complete goons that fill up the majority of the NXT women's roster? Yeah! Like, good lord. Who is left down there? We have Cora, Roxanne, Tiffany. We have Gigi and JC, but evidently they're not getting used for much. Wendy Chu is still down there, but when's the last time they did anything with her, right?
I forgot about
saying that they not saying they should do anything with her other than repackage her, but
yes, please.
Lunch legend.
I'm a big fan of lunch. Wait, who?
Nikita.
Oh, I heard Tamina. I was like, wait, what? When did that happen?
They should send Tamina down there. She could whip some shit out of those youngins.
Absolutely.
Like, who else is left? Soraka.
No, fire her.
Good lord, that is dire. I listed, there was Gigi and JC, and there's still Mako. But other than those three, there is no one good. Everyone else that I just listed there sucks.
It's a tragedy.
Send Bailey down and have her kill them all. Like, they so blatantly need Mandy Rose. Like, so flagrantly.
Yep.
Like, that is one of the worst things that has ever happened to NXT was Mandy Rose doing porn.
Yep.
Good lord. Nonetheless, let's see. And the last segment of the night was the championship match between Jay and Theory. Pretty solid match. Crazy thing, when Jay is not in a tag match, he doesn't do super kicks.
What? That's impossible.
He has an aura around him that detects when Jimmy is nearby, and it replaces half his move set with super kicks. And the great thing is, okay, so the match goes on. Jay is on the cusp of winning. Pretty Deadly run in. So I guess Pretty Deadly is now the sidekicks of Theory. I won't complain. This seems like it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, fair.
Jimmy runs in to do the save and protect Jay from Pretty Deadly. Jimmy immediately super kicks one.
Nice.
And the moment I saw that, I went, Jimmy, you are destined for lower mid-card drubbing. Because your brother can go somewhere. You are staying exactly where you belong. And then, who else was it? Solo does a run-in, so we're just like, run-in a mania here. I was getting a little bit of like TNA or Attitude Era flashbacks.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Attitude Era. Activate.
Yeah, we don't want either of we want to somehow try and protect both participants. So we'll do 8 million run-ins. Oh no, we're doing 8 million run-ins on every match of every night. So there's no actual clean finishes or clean matches.
Yep.
However, if we're just doing it once every couple of months, then it's not bad.
Yeah.
Especially if we make it into absolute pandemonium, then it's funny. Because Pandemonium every week is boring. Pandemonium every couple of months is funny as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what was that shit with when Indy left the NXT women's belt in the ring because she had to move up to the main roster, and unlike the Celtic Witches, she was, like, being humble and letting the belt stay on NXT?
Yeah.
So every other woman on the roster charges out there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it will ever get better for just sudden, abrupt pandemonium. For how little interest I have in anything that's going on in NXT right now, that shit with Wesley of like, first man to get out here gets a championship match. Immediate jump cut to backstage, and it's just crazy fights in the hallways. People getting speared through doors and slammed into concrete walls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cut to SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 backstage.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, 80-man backstage brawl. Eat your heart out. Here comes the pain. So anyways, yeah, all these run-ins happen. And Solo goes to spike Jimmy. Jay dives in and wraps his arm around around Solo's thumb so Solo can't spike him. Solo goes, "Hey, what the fuck, Jay? Whose side are you on?" Jimmy goes to super kick Solo to counter it. Solo ducks at the right time. Jimmy super kicks Jay. The ref wakes up and shoos everybody out of the ring. Theory pins Jay.
All right.
Now, despite G-Man losing his shit in the wrestling thread and going, "This is bullshit, man," I think this was very well done. I think this really just cements. Okay, Jay has been told he can be the king if he turns on Jimmy. And also, Jimmy just kicked him in the face.
Yeah.
So, we are now in the space of, okay, it is a lot more reasonable here. Even if you think it's silly for Jay to turn on Jimmy for an accident, that does not change the fact that Jay has also been promised the crown if he turns on Jimmy.
Yeah.
And what have we seen as routinely Jay's flaw? The dude is way too ambitious and way too independent and self-focused.
Uh-huh.
Like, if Jay turns on Jimmy for the crown, this entirely recontextualizes Jay's issues in the bloodline earlier. From Jay is like a good guy who just happens to hang with the bloodline because of Jimmy, to, oh no, Jay's not a good guy. He's just an asshole who doesn't like taking orders from people unless it gets him something good in the end.
Yeah.
So, there is also, of course, it just simply be Jay in the end decides to stick with Jimmy.
Yeah. Whatever decision they go with, I think this is a good decision because it adds suspense and stakes to the storyline that would otherwise potentially be missing or feel very one note.
Well, if he sticks with Jimmy, that's going to be a pop. But
right.
My God, the heat if Jay turns on Jimmy, his own brother, for the crown.
Absolutely.
For his own selfish wants.
Absolutely.
If Roman continues to successfully manipulate people and he dangles the carrot and Jay goes for it. The heat on Jay, the heat on Roman, the heat on Solo, the heat on Paul. Like, because the thing was, like, several months ago, when the Sammy thing was still burning red hot, which I guess it still is burning red hot, but when it was a singles thing rather than a tag thing. Well, I remember what I was saying back then was, okay, so Roman has now been solidly turned from the cool heel to the complete piece of shit heel.
Yeah.
But it nonetheless felt a bit odd because the Usos and Solo and Paul were hanging around him, and so is Paul. Paul's a real life piece of shit, and so as a result, will always somewhat come off as a in-ring piece of shit. But I was a bit odd. Roman is like turbo unsympathetic heel. Some Usos are still not that bad. But if they have Solo and Jay, they'll just turn on their brother. Like, Solo can still get a little bit of sympathy because, well, he's so sympathetic moment. He's the loyal one, I guess. But like Jay, like if Jay turns on Jimmy, that would just make the entire bloodline turbo piece of shit heels.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting in this era where so often, like for the last 20 years, you know, famously, Stone Cold Steve Austin made it virtually impossible to be a heel and get booed, right? Because he was a heel and everybody loved him.
Yeah.
If we could get a full-blown, actually booed heel stable here, instead of cool heel stable, that would be the craziest shit. Nonetheless, there is SmackDown, and that is the extent of my week.
All right.
I guess.
Oh! You motherfucker.